Sri Lanka ප්‍රථම වරට SLT 4G වෙතින් දැන් Pure TV නරඹන්න. ඉදිරියටම ගෙන යන SLT 4G.
ලෙන්ගතුකම වැඩි කරගන්න ලව්ජු රුපියල් 50ට අඩු කළා.
මාමේ එන්න අපිට එකක් බොමු.
Tonight, back to school. Principals, teachers and administrative staff return to school as the government brims with confidence over COVID-19 control. Tit for tat, the Attorney General ditches the acting IGP. Gangland crackdown, the biggest cache of underworld firearms to date discovered. Deepening rabbit hole. Easter attacks PCOI hears that the then IGP undermined intelligence information. All that and much more coming up on First at 9. This Monday, the 29th of June, 2020.
Nava sunlight sakura. Then Dikukal pavathina sakura mal suandin.
From AdaDerana, this is AdaDerana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and welcome to First at 9. I'm Dhamke Kanai. Let's start with your news. The European Union insists that countries which are left off the list of nations set to benefit from the reopening of its external borders should not consider them as blacklisted. The delegation of the European Union to Sri Lanka today gave clarification on lifting the temporary restriction on non-essential travel to the EU and reports that Sri Lanka is not included in the list of selected countries.
A list of 54 countries set to benefit from the reopening of the European Union external borders, which is expected to happen by the beginning of July, was in circulation. Though the list carried by certain media outlets included the likes of India, China and Canada, where coronavirus deaths are in thousands, Sri Lanka is not included. The delegation of the European Union to Sri Lanka on its Twitter account today meanwhile gave clarification on lifting the temporary restriction on non-essential travel to the EU and reports that Sri Lanka is not included in the list of selected countries. It says that the decision to lift travel restrictions with non-EU countries is ultimately the prerogative of the EU member states and the Schengen associated countries. To that effect, it says that member states and associated countries have been working together to agree an initial list of countries with which borders could be reopened soon on the basis of objective criteria, including the epidemiological situation in the given country and the possibility to seek reciprocity with the country concerned. It also states that the short list being examined at the moment is limited to 15 countries without revealing them. It adds that absence of a country on this positive list should not be considered as being blacklisted and the list will be regularly updated.
Now, Commander of the Sri Lanka Army, Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva, is very confident of the history showing that Sri Lanka adopted the best mechanism in combating the COVID-19 virus as the country used a very good contact tracing system. In any case, the fruits of those efforts were evident today with the first phase of school reopening getting underway. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka's COVID-19 recovery rate has risen to over 82% with only 350 active cases.
With schools having been closed for a period of 3 months, they were opened today under the first phase of the reopening program, with principals, teachers and administrative staff reporting to work. Schools are given a time period of 1 week to disinfect the premises, prepare timetable and make arrangements which are necessary for the restart. Public health inspectors have been made aware of the health and safety protocols that schools will be implementing, and it is compulsory that schools ensure that students are provided with facilities to wash their hands when grades 13, 11 and 5 return on the 6th of July.
මෙතනදී තාමත්ම වැදගත් වෙන දේ තමයි ශ්වසන රෝගයක් තියෙනවා නම් කැස්ටසන් ප්‍රතිශා වගේ දෙයක් තියෙනවා නම් පාසලට යවන්න එපා. ඔවුන් ගෙදර තබා ගන්න ඕන. පාසල් වලදී අත්සේදීම ඊටාත්ම වැදගත් වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම තමයි වැඩිහිටි පන්තිවල ඉන්න අය හැකි අවස්ථාවලදී මුඛාවරණයක් පැළඳීම, කැම බීම, පොත්පත්, පෑන් උපකරණ වගේ දේවල් බෙදා හදා ගැනීම පුළුවන් තරම් මේ අවස්ථාවේදී අවම කිරීම ඊටාත්ම වැදගත් වෙනවා. පුද්ගලයන් එකිනෙක හා ගැටෙන කණ්ඩායම් ක්‍රීඩා මේ අවස්ථාවේදී අවම කිරීම සුදුසු ආරම්භයේදී.
The Ministry of Education meanwhile stated that schools will reopen for students of grades 10 and 12 on the 20th of July. Accordingly, schools will commence for students of grades 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 and 9 on the 27th of July. However, a decision had not been made as to when students of grade 1 and 2 can return to school. In the meantime, Minister of Education, Sports and Youth Affairs Dallas Alhapperuma inspected several schools today to look into the health and safety protocols that have been implemented.
අධ්‍යාපන ඇමතිවරයා විදියට මට නිහතමානී ආඩම්බරයක් තියෙනවා. අපේ පාසල් පද්ධතිය ඇතුලේ එක දරුවෙක්, එක ගුරුවරයෙක්, එක විදුහල්පතිවරයෙක්, එක අනධ්‍යයන සේවකයෙක් මේ මාර්ක වසංගතේ ගොදුරක් බවට පත් වුණේ නැහැ. ජූලි මාසේ පළවෙනි සඳුදා රටේ හැම තැනටම පාසලේ සීනුව නාද කරන සද්දය ඇහෙන්න පටන් ගනී. ඒ පාසල ඇතුලෙන් ඇහෙන සීනුවේ නාදය තමයි රටේ සුරක්ෂිතභාවය පිළිබඳව නැගෙන නාදය.
In the meantime, a total of 4 COVID-19 infections were confirmed yesterday. They were identified as returnees from Bangladesh, India, Pakistan and Kuwait. Meanwhile, the country's total number of active COVID-19 cases now stands at 350 as 2 coronavirus infections were confirmed today. With 17 COVID-19 patients also being given all clear today, the country's overall number of recoveries rose to 1,678. In other developments, despite authorities announcing that wearing masks in public places is mandatory, many people were seen disregarding that advice. With this being the case, the police have taken measures to ensure that 1,217 people will undergo 14 days of self-quarantine after they were caught failing to wear masks in public places.
හෙල්මට් එක අතේ තියාගෙන ගිහිල්ලා පොලිස් නිලධාරියා දකුණුකොට ඔලුවට දාගන්නවා වගේ මුඛාවරණයක් පැළඳගෙන සමහරලා නිකට ප්‍රදේශයට දාලා නැත්නම් හිස ප්‍රදේශයට දාලා එහෙම කවුරුත් රැවට්ටීම සඳහා එක් කරලා වැඩක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක රැවටෙන්නේ තමාමයි. තමගේ දරුපාලුවේ ආවමයි. ඒ නිසා ඒක කරන්න එපා කියන එකත් අපි ඉල්ලීමක් කරනවා. ඒ ආයතන නොපැළඳීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් වරදට අහු වෙනවා.
In the meantime, 3 naval personnel were confirmed to have recovered from the virus today. That puts the overall COVID-19 recoveries among naval personnel at 826. Elsewhere, Commander of the Sri Lanka Army Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva today praised the President for involving the armed forces in the fight against COVID-19 as he expressed views during a program on AdaDerana. He said that the country managed to halt the spread of the coronavirus owing to the adoption of a very good multi-layered contact tracing system. He added that history will tell that Sri Lanka had the best mechanism in the world.
කොරෝනා වෛරසය පැතිරීම වළක්වන්න සබන් යොදා දෑත් සෝදන්න.
Now, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa calls for the central bank to develop a mechanism which regulates and inspects finance companies, preventing depositors from being put into difficulty. The head of state's comments came during a meeting with depositors of ETI and their finance companies at the President's office today.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa had a meeting with a group of people who deposited money in finance companies of ETI and their finance at the President's office today. President's Secretary Dr. P.B. Jayasundara, Secretary to the Treasury S.R. Artigala, Governor of the Central Bank Professor W.D. Lakshman and other senior officials of the Central Bank also participated in the meeting. Under the first phase of payment to depositors of both institutions, those with deposits under 600,000 rupees will be compensated. During the meeting, the President insisted justice should be done by the rest of the depositors, even by means of seizing the assets of the 2 collapsed institutions.
මේ සල්ලි ඇදලා ගෙවල් ගන්නවා දේපල ගන්නවා අන්තිමට මේක කඩාගෙන වැටෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපි මේවට විසඳුම් හොයන්නට ඕන. අපි දන්නේ කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ දේපල කියලා. මේවට විසඳුම් හොයන්න වෙනවා අපි දැන් ඇවිල්ලා. ජනාධිපතිවරයා වශයෙන් මට තියෙන්නේ මේ තියෙන තත්ත්වය අනුව වැඩි දෙනෙකුට වැඩි සහනයක් ලබා දෙන ක්‍රමයකට යන්න. ඒකම අපි බලන්න ඕන මේ වගේ ආයතන මුල ඉඳලා නියාමනය වන ක්‍රමවේදයක් අපි ඉක්මනින්ම හදන්න. මොකද මේ ෆයිනෑන්ස් කම්පනීස් කියන ඒවා තවත් තියෙනවානේ. නෝන මේකක් විතරක් නෙවෙයිනේ. කීයකින් මේ වගේ ජනතාව අසීරු තත්ත්වයකට පත් කරලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මේක මේ විදිහට තවත් ෆයිනෑන්ස් කම්පනීස් කීපයක් මේ වගේ ජනතාව අපහසු තත්ත්වයට පත් නොවන විදිහට මම හිතන්නේ මහ බැංකුව නියම නියාමනය ක්‍රමයක් මේවා පරීක්ෂා කරන ක්‍රමයක් ඉක්මනින්ම යොදන්න ඕන.
Meanwhile, former governor of the central bank, Ajit Niwad Cabral, calls on the central bank to make better efforts towards rebuilding the country's economy. Speaking to AdaDerana, the former governor said that the recent reduction of the statutory reserve ratio on its own is not enough to address the need of the hour.
දැන් මහ බැංකුව ගිහිල්ලා කෙරුවේ ණය දෙන්න පුළුවන් තත්ත්වය වැඩි කෙරුවා. කියන්නේ බැංකුවට තව තවත් ද්‍රවශීලතාවය ලබා දුන්නා SRR එක. මුළු බැංකු පද්ධතියෙම ට්‍රිලියන 9.2ක තමයි මුළු ණය දීලා තියෙන්නේ. බිලියන 9200කින් මම හිතන්නේ බිලියන 1000ක් පමණ තමයි ඔය ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන ණය. ඒ බිලියන 1000 වෙනුවෙන් තව බිලියන 200ක් ලබා දුන්නා නම් ඒ වැඩිපුර දෙන ණය වෙනුවෙන් මහ බැංකුව වගේ කියනවායි කියලා එතනට යන්නට ඕනේ. ඒතකොට තමයි මේ ව්‍යාපාර වලට මුදල් යන්නේ. අඩු පොලියට දෙන්න පුළුවන්. 1%ක වගේ පොලියකට දෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද දැන් අපිට තියෙන අවශ්‍යතාවය සල්ලි හම්බ කිරීම නෙමෙයි. ද්‍රවශීලතාවය වැඩි කරලා ඒ මිනිසුන්ට එන සල්ලි ටික වැඩි කරලා ඒ තුලින් ආර්ථිකය ගොඩනගා ගන්නට. ඒක ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්නේ නැතුව මේ ද්‍රවශීලතාවය වැඩි කෙරුවා SRR එක අඩුවේ කෙරුවයි කියලා අවශ්‍ය වෙන දේ සිදු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේ ව්‍යාපාර ක්ෂේත්‍රය ඉතාමත්ම ඉක්මනින් නැවත නැගිටවීමට කටයුතු කරන්න අවශ්‍යයි. දැන් මම දැක්ක ඊයේ ඉතාමත්ම වැදගත් යෝජනාවක් අගමැතිතුමා ගෙනලා තිබුණා. ලෝක බැංකුවට සහ ජාත්‍යන්තර මූල්‍ය අරමුදලට අපි ඉල්ලීමක් කරන්නට ඕනේ වසර 2ක ණය විරාමයක් ලබා දෙන්න කියලා මේ රටවල් වල. මීට පෙර අපේ ජනාධිපතිතුමා එවැනිම ඉල්ලීමක් කෙරුවා. එනට මාසෙකට 30 ඉස්සරින්. මේව ගැන ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්නේ නැති අය. මහ බැංකුව මේව ගැන ගිහිල්ලා කටයුතු කරන්නට අවශ්‍යයි. මොනවද කරලා තියෙන්නේ? ඉල්ලීමක් කරලා තියෙනවද? ඉල්ලීමක් කරන්නට අවශ්‍යයි. රටවල් වෙනුවෙන් අනිත් රටවල් එක්ක සාකච්ඡා කරන්න ඕනේ. සාහක් රටවල් එක්ක සාකච්ඡා කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒව නොකර හිටියොත් තවත් සැරයක් මම හිතන්නේ ජනාධිපතිතුමාටයි අගමැතිතුමාටයි රටවැසියන්ටයි ඇඟිලි දික් කරන්න වෙයි.
Retired Deputy Inspector General of Police Kirti Gajanayak believes that the intelligence information the IGP received prior to the Easter Sunday terror attacks had been undermined by the IGP himself with the inclusion of a common phrase used by the police. Giving evidence before the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the attacks, Gajanayak insisted that the phrase "for necessary action" should never be included on a document containing valuable intelligence information.
Retired Deputy Inspector General of Police Kirti Gajanayak, who served as the Director of State Intelligence from 2003 to 2011, gave evidence today before the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the Easter Sunday terror attacks. Elaborating on the duty of an SIS director, Gajanayak said that the primary duty of a person in such a position is to inform the President and the Defence Secretary about the special information received on national security. To this end, he said that the position of SIS director is facilitated with direct communication with the President. During the proceedings, the State Council brought the document containing correspondence of pre-warnings pertaining to the attacks to the attention of the witness. The State Council asked the witness as to what it meant by the note "Eyes Only" made by the National Intelligence Chief Sisira Mendes on the letter sent to the IGP Pujit Jayasundara. The witness said that a note reading "Eyes Only" is made when a highly secretive piece of information is submitted for the knowledge of a certain person. He added that once the recipient absorbs the contents of the document noted "Eyes Only", it is a must to destroy the said document without letting another person come across it. The witness went on to say that during his entire service, documents noted "Eyes Only" were only submitted to the President and the Defence Secretary. The State Council then drew the attention of the witness towards the note made on the document by then IGP Pujit Jayasundara, which read "for necessary action." The witness responded saying that it is his view that the note "for necessary action" should never be made on a document containing such a valuable piece of intelligence. While saying that the phrase "for necessary action" is of common usage within the police, the witness noted that the intelligence information contained in the document has been undermined by the usage of the phrase. He also went on to say that such action from a high-ranking officer as the IGP cannot be expected. The Commission asked the witness as to whether the sentence "a secret investigation is underway pertaining to the above information contained in the document" undermines the initial piece of intelligence information. The reply of the witness was that by the time this letter was forwarded, the State Intelligence Service had information of Zaharan Hashim and his terror cell's involvement in defacing of Lord Buddha statues in Mavanalla and the discovery of explosives from Vanathavilluwa. With a pre-warning issued by a foreign intelligence agency containing the relevant names, he added that the SIS chief had not presented that information and the information which the SIS possessed coherently. The witness told the commission that had the SIS chief Nilantha Jayawardena presented the information coherently, there would have been clear grounds to prevent the Easter Sunday terror attacks.
We will see you shortly. Bear with us. Welcome back. You're watching First at 9. Now, former Minister Faisal Mustafa says that electing parliamentarians to the opposition is of no use to the Muslim community and that the Muslim community needs the government more than the government needs them. His comments came during the Muslim Federation General Meeting 2020 today, which was also attended by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa.
The Muslim Federation General Meeting 2020 was held in Dehiwala today under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa.
මේ වසංගතයෙන් මර්ධනය කිරීමේ සම්පූර්ණ ගෞරවය කාටවත් යන්නේ නැහැ. ඒකේ ගෞරවය යන්නේ ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ ජනතාවට. ඔහුගත්ත තීන්දුව එක වෙලාවකදී පාසල් වැහුවා, එයා බෝට් වැහුවා, තද තීන්දුව ගත්තා, හමුදාව යෙදෙව්වා. මම හිතන්නේ ලෝකේ කොහෙවත් යොදවලා තිබුණේ නැහැ මේ වෙලාවේ. ඒ නිසා තමයි ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම මේක මර්ධනය කර ගන්න පුළුවන් වුණේ. සමහර වෙලාවට ඔය ප්‍රශ්නයක් ආවා උච්චනවද වල දානවද කියලා පස්සේ. ඒක අපි ගත්ත තීන්දුවක් නෙවෙයි. ඒක මණ්ඩලයක් විසින් දොස්තරවරුන් විශේෂඥයන් කණ්ඩායම ගත්ත තීන්දුවක්. ඔව් වෛද්‍යවරුන් කිව්වයින් පස්සේ අපිට පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ. මේ මතයට විරුද්ධව ගිහිල්ලා කටයුතු කරන්න. මේකත් දැන් මේ අපේ පිටුඩ. මතයක් තියෙනවා කොහොමුණත් පසුගිය වතාවේදී වැඩි සහයෝගයක් අපිට ලැබුණේ නැහැ කියලා. නමුත් අපි මතක් කරන්න ඕන සහයෝගය දෙන ඉරිසක් අපිට හිටියා. දැන් සජිත් නම් කියනවා මේ මටත් පුළුවන් ගෝඨාභයත් එක්ක වැඩ කරන්න කියලා. ඉතින් මං හිතන්නේ ප්‍රේමදාස මහත්තයාට වඩා හොඳට අපිට හොඳට කිට්ටුවෙන් වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා.
මුක්ති විවාර්තා 97යි 98ක් විතර සිකියුරිටි කවුන්සිල් එකට ලබා දීලා තියෙද්දි උඩ බලාගෙන බෝම්බ පුපුරන්න ඉඩ දුන්නේ ඒ යහපාලන ආණ්ඩුව. ඒ හින්දා තමයි අපි මේ අද අනවශ්‍ය විදිහට දුක් විඳින්නේ. අද මුස්ලිම් ජනතාව අපිට බියකින් සැකයකින් තනිකමකින් පෙළෙනවා නම් ඒකට වග කියන්නට ඕන වෙන කවුරුත් නෙවෙයි. මේ මුස්ලිම් ජනතාව මේ මාර්ගයේ අරගෙන ගිය ඔය මුස්ලිම් ජනතාවගේ නායකයෝ කියන අයමයි කියන එක මම මුලින්ම කියන්නට ඕන. හැබැයි අපිට දිගින් දිගටම මුස්ලිම් ජනතාව මේ මාර්ගයේ යන්න ඉඩ දෙන්නට බෑ. මුස්ලිම් ජනතාව ප්‍රධාන ප්‍රවාහයට ඇදලා ගන්නට ඕන.
මේ අවස්ථාවේදී ආණ්ඩුවට මුස්ලිම් ප්‍රජාවට අවශ්‍යතාවයට වඩා මුස්ලිම් ප්‍රජාවට ආණ්ඩුව අවශ්‍යයි. හේතුව විපක්ෂයේ മന്ത്രിවරු විහි කරලා මුස්ලිම් ප්‍රජාවට යමක් කරගන්න බෑ කියන එක අපි දන්නවා. හැමදාම අපේ මුස්ලිම් දේශපාලකයෙ කරේ අනිත් පැත්තෙන් තරග ගල්ලා අන්තිමට මේ පත්තර ඇවිල්ලා අනුදිකම් දරලා ඒ වගේ බලය පෙන්වන්න හදනවා. හැබැයි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේ පාර අපි තුලින් දෙයක් බලයක් ගන්නවාමයි. එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂය අපේ ආගම නෙවෙයි. ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමා ජනාධිපති වුණාට පස්සේ මුස්ලිම් ප්‍රජාවට නිදහසේ සාමකාමී ජීවත් වීමේ වාතාවරණයක් තියෙනවා.
Moving on with other local stories, the Attorney General's Department today confirmed or informed to the court that the AG will not be appearing on behalf of the Acting Inspector General of Police in the future pertaining to the petition filed by the interdicted High Court Judge Gihan Pilapitiya. The AG's department cites the Acting IGP's non-compliance with the AG's instructions pertaining to the case of Pilapitiya as the reason behind the move.
Interdicted High Court Judge Gihan Pilapitiya filed a petition with the Court of Appeal seeking an order invalidating the summons issued on him by the Nugegoda Magistrates Court. It argues that the manner in which summons issued on him by the Gangodavilla Magistrates Court pertaining to the controversial audio recordings of former MP Ranjan Ramanayaka is illegal. After considering the petition, the Court of Appeal recently ordered to suspend hearing of the case before the Nugegoda Magistrates Court until the appeal court concludes its hearing of the petition. Meanwhile, the petition was taken up again today before the Court of Appeal bench, consisting its President Justice A.H.M.D. Nawaz and Justice Sobhita Rajakaruna. During the proceedings, the judge bench ordered the police officers of the Colombo Crime Division, the Nugegoda Magistrate and the Attorney General to submit their objections pertaining to the petition on the 31st of July. The Attorney General's department meanwhile told the court that since the acting IGP did not act in line with the advice of the AG in the case pertaining to High Court Judge Pilapitiya, the AG will not be representing the acting IGP, who is listed as a respondent. The AG on 2 occasions informed the acting IGP to report facts to the court and obtain a warrant for the arrest of Pilapitiya, but the police did not seek an arrest warrant against the interdicted High Court judge.
Police Special Task Force today seized what is considered to be the single largest cache of firearms to have been discovered belonging to the underworld in Sri Lanka. 12 assault rifles in total was found from a wholesale outlet in Pitipana, which the police say is owned by the underworld gang of criminal known as Koskodatharaka, who is currently in remand custody.
The Police Special Task Force raided a wholesale outlet this morning in the area of Pitipana of Homagama upon information received that a cache of firearms used in underworld activities is being held there. During the raid, the STF was able to recover 12 firearms, including 11 T-56 assault rifles and a single T-81 firearm. This is considered to be the largest stash of firearms belonging to an underworld criminal gang in Sri Lanka. The investigations conducted so far revealed that this firearm stash was owned by the underworld gang of Koskodatharaka, who is currently under remand custody. He is also the chief suspect in the jewelry shop robbery in Mathura on the 22nd of June in 2018. Accordingly, a disciple of Koskodatharaka named Puttakapila has hidden these firearms inside the store a month ago. The drug racketeer Gagana, who is currently under remand custody, has also used his firearm cache in his underworld activities as well. Furthermore, the owner of the building in question was arrested by police. Commandant of the police SCF DIG Varuna Jayasundara meanwhile also inspected the scene where the firearms were discovered. Investigations are underway by police SCF pertaining to the underworld activities in which these weapons were used.
Emerging market investor Dr. Mark Mobius urges Sri Lanka to move more aggressively with privatisation of state-owned enterprises, which he says will give an incredible boost to the economy. Now, he added that Sri Lanka must first look at its domestic market by increasing production to meet domestic requirements. The second area, he said, is the export, including tea and the service sector as well as tourism. Dr. Mobius also urged the island to specialise in higher-end tourism and not mass tourism, saying it can be very profitable. Meanwhile, on new monetary policy frameworks and their importance for growth, Dr. Mobius said that the emphasis put on a central bank's ability to solve problems is too much and that they are not in a position to recover an economy or solve all these economic problems. Thus, he said that central banks keep on printing money and buying commercial bonds, and this infuses a lot of liquidity into the market, which results in the devolution of currency. He added that what can help the economy is putting people back to work. Dr. Mobius also said that he is quite pleased with the way that Sri Lankan rupee has been relatively stable, with a 7% devaluation and some recovery, adding that single-digit changes in currency is not a very big problem. Now to give you a market update, Sri Lankan shares fell today after 9 straight sessions of gains weighed by shares of industrial companies. The all-share price index ended down 0.19% at 5,153.77. Trading volume fell to 34.4 million rupees from 47.2 million rupees in the previous session, while market turnover was 1.19 billion rupees. Now here's a brief report on today's market performance.
Today the market dipped marginally by about 10 points to end at 5,153 points, basically declining after 9 consecutive sessions of market gaining. So basically we feel that there was a bit of profit taking in the market, slowing down the overall index down. So primarily it was led by John Keel's holdings, weighing down on the index. Turnover was managed to again cross the 1 billion mark, closing in on 1.2 billion rupees, where we see turnover levels exceeding 1 billion for about 3 to 4 consecutive weeks now on a continuous basis. And with that, we are seeing local interest continuing to be very high, especially on the banking sector counters. So today we are seeing high turnover levels in Nations Trust Bank, Commercial and John Case Holdings. A significant amount of crossings, and that led into mainly net foreign outflow, where some of the block trades were mainly foreign outflows. So with that, we are again seeing net foreign outflows in the market. So that is again continuing for last so many days, which is unlikely to stop in the coming days as well because of the emerging market outflow. So we feel that basically today's dip in the market is likely to be short-lived, basically because it was a profit taking in the market that was there.
In the currency market, the Sri Lankan rupee ended at 186 rupees and 10 cents against the US dollar. According to the reports, the currency is 2.65% weaker so far this year. Now let's take a look at how the Sri Lankan rupee traded against other major currencies during the day. We will see you once more on the other side of this break. Don't go away. Welcome back. This is First at 9. Now, 4 gunmen attacked the Pakistani stock exchange in Karachi, killing 2 guards and a policeman, as well as wounding 7 others before being shot dead today. The assailants launched a grenade attack at the main gate to the building and opened fire, but police said that they failed to make it to the trading floor. According to foreign media, some staff inside the building took refuge in locked rooms while some were evacuated. The Baloch Liberation Army claimed responsibility in a brief message on a Twitter account set up shortly before the raid, describing it as a self-sacrificing attack carried out by its Majid Brigade, and the account was suspended a short time after the attack. Ethnic Baloch groups have fought a long-running insurgency for a separate homeland and a greater share of resources in Pakistan's Balochistan province. Pakistan has suffered years of militant violence, mostly by Islamist groups, but attacks such as this one have become rare in recent years. Now, the Johns Hopkins University says that global coronavirus cases now exceed 10 million and more than 500,000 people have died from the virus, with the United States accounting for about a quarter of all deaths. However, the recoveries reported over the world has now exceeded 5.5 million. In the meantime, India recorded its highest number of COVID-19 infections today at 19,906, taking the overall number of cases beyond 550,000.
Brazil yesterday reported 30,476 new cases of COVID-19, taking the national count over 1.3 million as the coronavirus pandemic continues to rage across the country. The Brazilian Health Ministry said in its daily report that 552 daily deaths from COVID-19 were reported within the last day, raising the death toll to 57,622. The ministry added that of those infected with the virus, 733,848 have recovered. India's health ministry said that 19,906 new COVID-19 cases and 410 new deaths were reported during the past day, taking the number of confirmed cases over 500,000 and the number of deaths to 16,095. This is the biggest single-day spike of fresh COVID-19 cases in the country so far. According to Health Ministry officials, 309,713 people have been discharged from hospitals so far after full recovery. Maharashtra, the hardest hit state, registered 159,133 cases, while Delhi and Tamil Nadu confirmed about 80,000 in total. Australia's second most populous state, Victoria, said that it is considering to reimpose social distancing restrictions after the country reported its biggest one-day rise in new coronavirus infections in more than 2 months. While many states and territories have yet to report their latest numbers, Victoria said it has detected 75 cases yesterday, which is enough to make it Australia's biggest daily toll since the 11th of April. Victoria's chief health officer said that the state has embarked on a massive testing regime. In Pakistan, coronavirus cases are now placed at 206,512, with 3,602 new infections reported within the last day. 49 deaths were reported so far today, taking the overall tally to 4,245.
Now in France, ex-Prime Minister François Fillon and his wife Penelope Fillon have received jail sentences in a fake jobs case. Found guilty of complicity to embezzle and conceal public funds, the Conservative politician was sentenced to 5 years in prison, 3 of which were suspended. He has also been banned from running for elected office for 10 years, while his wife was handed a 3-year suspended sentence. The duo was also fined $423,000 each. The verdict comes 3 years after Fillon's presidential campaign took a nosedive after being accused of using public funds to pay his wife to work a fake job. And that's it from all of us here at First at 9. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.